Hi, I'm Steve Miller and welcome to my latest video of how I use DxO Photolab to edit my photos. This time I thought I'd do some autumn photos. It's coming up to the start of autumn here in the UK, so I thought it'd be a good time to show this, and I'll be using Filmpack 8 when I do these photos. It's just been released. DxO reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to join the affiliate program, so I have. So I got early access to the Filmpack 8. I've also got a discount code now. I'll put it in the description below. You can get 15% off Filmpack or any of the DxO software with my discount code Steve Miller 15. So yeah, I just thought I'd just show how I use Filmpack. I'm not doing a full review of Filmpack 8. I don't use it with Photolab. One of the new things in Filmpack 8 is it's easier, it's better integrated into Photoshop, but I don't use Photoshop, so I didn't think I was the best person to do a full review on it. But I'll just show you how I do use Filmpack for some of my landscape editing. Right, so I'll start off. One of the things I do like with Filmpack, you get a lot of these presets for like colour films. There's black and white, colour design, loads of presets in here that come with when you get DxO Filmpack. The one I like to use for me autumn photos is let me find it, the portrait. So there's 3 to choose from, and looking at these, it looks like for this one the Portrait 400 could be good. So you just apply that preset and straight away you can just see how that lifts the image. So we've gone from that to that, so it really boosts the autumn colours there. So yeah, I quite often use that for me autumn edits. Looking at this photo, what I'll just have a look, see how the smart lighting, if that's going to help. I do like to sort of push the smart lighting up just to see. It's just showing you, you know, what detail there is in the sky there. As you can see, that's it's got a lot of grain in there. What it is, when you use the presets, because it's a film emulation, they do add grain to make it look like the film. So normally I will knock that grain off. So I'll go in and I'll do that now. But the smart lighting, quite often I'll just use it for, you know, just to see what it can do. I mean, I wouldn't, some people might think, well, that's done quite a good job. Add a bit of Clearview Plus and, you know, that's nearly job done. So there is some tools in Photolab that are very handy, but just a bit overkill for me, that one. I'd rather do a bit more myself. So I'm just gonna, I usually find 20-25 on the smart lighting is quite good. I am going to leave it at that. I don't like the top of this image. There's no cloud. There's no sort of detail in the cloud at the top. So I am going to crop this image. I'm going to go to a 3x2 crop on this. Just drag that down. I just think that's nicer. Now we'll look at just adding, I just want to add a bit of contrast to the tree, to this area, and I think that will be good using the mid-tone contrast. These are some of the other things that you can get in with Filmpack. If you don't have Filmpack installed, you definitely don't get the 3. I don't think you get the fine contrast. You definitely don't get these bottom 3 sliders. But I quite often use the mid-tone slide. I quite like that. If you can see, that is lifting this area, the trees and the mid-tones there. I mean, I will look the highlight. If you see, the highlight is helping a bit. It's adding a bit of contrast to this area. So I will just put a little bit of highlight contrast in. A bit of mid-tones. I don't think the shadow will do a lot. No, we'll just leave that. Now we're looking at the sky. I want to sort of darken that sky down a bit. I think the sky AI mask will do a good job on this image. Let's just see that, how that works. Yeah, that looks fine. And for this, I'm just going to add a bit of Clearview Plus, which usually helps. Just knock the exposure down slightly on the sky. And the highlights down slightly. That helps. I'm going to do more on that sky because I want to do something with these distant hills as well. The Langdale Pikes, that is in the English Lake District, if you don't recognise it. So for that, I'm going to go with a control line. And I'm going to drag that over the sky, and I'm going to pick up some of them hills as well in the distance. I'll feather that down. This is where I'm going to use a bit more Clearview Plus, and it should bring some details in them mountains in the distance, which I quite like. I might even knock the highlights or the exposure down slightly, even more. Yep, that's looking good. Looking at that, I think I'm going to try going back to the sky mask, and I'm just going to knock. I like the clouds to be a bit greyer, so I think that's looking nicer. They were just a bit warm for me, the clouds there, so I like the clouds a bit cooler. I've just dropped the white balance down slightly. Well, not a million miles away, so you can see straight away, you know, it's not took long to do this image at all. I still don't like these bright areas. I don't want to crop any more off, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the repair tool, and I'm just going to add some clouds. So I'll just use some areas. What I've found as well, sometimes when you're using the repair tool, so it doesn't make it look, see, you don't have two areas looking exactly the same, which can look a bit false. So if you just rotate when you do the repair, if you rotate where you're repairing from, it can make it look better. Let's have a look. Ooh. Just add to that, I didn't do it long enough. Ooh. I'll just delete that one. Try again. And same again. I'll just, where that's come from, I'll just move that. I will move it over here again. And I'm just going to do that same trick and just rotate that, just so it doesn't look too. As you can see, I've got it on opacity 100%. Sometimes it's quite good just to drop that opacity down when you're doing these. So if I can click on them, and I'll just drop it down slightly. Just doing it all by eye. That's not too bad. So I'd probably leave that at that. But as you can see, we're using the Filmpack, the film simulation. I've gone from that to that quite quick. It didn't take very long at all. I've got a couple more images to have a look at. So this one, same again. I'd use the portrait preset. The other way you can do it is by you can do it over there. It's in the color rendering. So if I go and I can find the portrait, oh sorry, no, you can tell I wasn't a film photographer. A good way, when you do it this way, you can actually hover over and they'll show you on your image how they're going to look, which is quite a good way of doing it. That's a bit too harsh this time, the 400, so I'm going to go with the Portrait 160 VC. I think that's vibrant colour that goes for. Yep. That's looking good. Same again. I'll go through the same thing. I'll just put the smart lighting on, see, do I like what it's doing? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I'll just up. This area here is just a little bit too dark for my liking, so I might just up the shadows. I think that'll just lift that just a little bit. And same again with the contrast. I think mid-tone contrast. We'll just give it a bit of pop. I like that. Now on this one, I might warm that up slightly. Just warm the white balance just to give that orange even more orange for the trees. The other thing you can do is, if you want, you could up the saturation on the orange. It's obviously too much. Or if you don't, maybe just knock the luminance down that orange just to see. That's, yeah, I'm liking the look of that. Now another thing we can use when you have Filmpack installed is there's a few things actually. I'll just go through them quickly. Create a vignette. I use that quite often on my wildlife. Quite often I'll put a vignette, very subtle vignette, but you can do a vignette. You can. So that's another one of the Filmpack things. You can got the filters. Never use these really. I don't think I've ever used them, but they are there. Nice to have if you might be in some help you do it. The grain, I mean, if I'd used the preset, it would have added grain to the image because it's a film like simulation, so it would have added the grain. I can just show you there. Is it color negative? So that was the one I used. So it does actually add grain to your image, and you can make the grain more or less. But I usually turn the grain off. I'll come back to the blur because that might be quite good for this image actually. The frame, you can add a frame. This is working better now. I know you had problems sometimes when you did the frames too big on Filmpack 7. Well, that's been fixed, so you can just add frames to your image now. There's all different sorts of frames you can add. And you can export them with the frames on. I use that every now and again, not very often, but I can. Light leak, not something I use a lot of, but again, it is there if you like to. It's just putting a light leak down that, or you can put like an old 4x5 camera that, if you had a light leak, sometimes you get that, so you can add light leaks. There's texture, there's all different textures you can add to your images. So there's a lot of things in with the Filmpack. What a lot of people are buying, and myself, I got the Filmpack mainly because if you haven't got Filmpack, you don't have the Luma mask. So I'll just go back to that last image. So if I want to, I can add a Luma mask, luminosity mask to this image. If you haven't got Filmpack installed, you don't have access to the luminosity mask, which a lot of people like. So I'll just show you how that works. If you just click on somewhere in the sky there, and then you can just refine it down here, a luminosity mask. So I know a lot of people like to use luminosity masks. I could have used it on the sky here actually. So that's another reason, which is a lot of people do get use Filmpack. Right, let's go back to the last image. I was going to show you in the Filmpack you can get this the blur effect. You can do a vignette, but you can do soft focus, and I don't know whether you've heard of the autumn effect. That it's that dreamy sort of look you can get to. A lot of woodland photographers use it. So this dreamy look. I mean, obviously that's over the top. That's too much, but it's quite an easy way of adding an autumn effect to your image. Just that little dreamy look. So you can just, not too much, just put it just a little bit, which I know a lot of woodland photographers like that. So again, another quite quick edit there. I didn't use a lot, and we've gone from the original to that. Just show it that way. Just zoom them out. So that is the original, and then that is with the Filmpack and a few edits. Right, so I have got another image which I'll show you now that I was going to work on. Let's get my tools back. And what we can do on this one, I'm just going to copy the settings from this image and I'm going to paste them onto this image. So them settings that I've used on that image will just go on this. I didn't have any local masks on that last image, so I had no problem doing that, and it's just give me them colours really. Same again, so we've gone from that sort of more green to that more nicer autumn colours. I just thought I'd show you this one because this is where I wouldn't use the eye mask. I'll just show you why. If I use the eye mask, the sky AI mask on this image, I don't think it would do a very good job because of the tree line. As you can see there, if I hover over it, if I wanted to drop the exposure, you can see it's not done a good job at all. But just because you've got AI masks doesn't mean you have to use them. You can just go back to the old-fashioned control line, which is very good for doing this sort of mask. So you just drag that over. Nope, just added another control line instead of moving that one. Just drag that down a bit just so it's going to affect most of the sky. And same again, so now I can drop that down. And this one, I don't like that tree on the edge, so I would just do a slight crop. Just turn that off. And I've just noticed, don't very often get it on my camera, but there is a dust spot there, so this is one for the repair tool. So there we go. So we've, as you can see, that Filmpack, that preset does quite a nice job. I'll just do a before and after on that shot as well. So that is before and that is after. Before on the left hand side and after on the right hand side. So as you can see, I think, yeah, Filmpack, it's definitely worth a look. Don't make the mistake I made. I bought Photolab, and I didn't get the package that had Filmpack with it. So I had to pay full price for both Photolab and Filmpack. They do an offer on where if you buy, you get a discount if you buy two or three of the packages together. So I didn't do that, so I had to pay full price for both. But I mean, it's yeah, so just hope it might help you decide whether Filmpack, if you're thinking of using Photolab, whether you think Filmpack would be worth adding to the package as well. So don't forget, I've got the discount code in the description, Steve Miller 15, and that'll get you 15% off for any new users. Right, thanks a lot for watching. Bye.